Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Tuesday, December the 10th, the year 2019. Let's talk trading skill. The funny thing about trading is it's simple. You click the mouse, you're in a trade. You click the mouse, you're out of the trade, right? But there's a few variables, as you well know. But the thing about trading skill is it takes time to develop. But many traders seem to think that all they have to do is find the right method and all their problems will be solved. They'll be driving Ferraris in no time, right? Living in mansions and sailing yachts and smoking expensive cigars and drinking expensive champagne. But according to statistics, about what, 9 out of 10 traders fail. So, what's going on? Well, the thing about trading skill is most traders think they could develop it in a weekend, maybe a week. And so they'll pick a method, they'll do it for maybe a couple of days, and they lose money. This method doesn't work. That would be like picking up a baseball bat, going up to the plate and striking out or fouling out or popping out and say, oh, this bat doesn't work. I need to find a new bat. Or a tennis racket. You keep hitting the ball in the net. This racket sucks. I need a new racket. Or let's see, you want to learn how to sew. So you get some needles, some thread, some cloth, sewing machine. Oh, this sewing machine sucks. Do you see what I'm getting at? In all those cases, the person was blaming something external to themselves. They were focusing on the equipment rather than focusing on themselves. And you see, part of your equipment is a system. Now, I mean, that's like going into a wood shop where there's, spinning blades that if you're not careful, you can lose digits or limbs, and saying, I'm going to go in here and in a weekend, I'm going to learn how to build something and I'm going to be a master cabinet maker or something. I mean, all of that sounds absurd. But for some reason, when people approach trading, they forget all of that and they think, oh, I just got to find the right method. Or, I tried that TRO buy zone and I lost. It sucks. Or I tried that TRO wick zone. You know what? I tried that that sucks. That doesn't work. I mean, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh, I tried that pivot thing and I lost money. The one time I try it, it didn't work. So, yeah, it's no good. And on and on and on. But I think now, after this little diatribe or rant or whatever you want to call it, lesson, sermon, you get the point. You have to work on you. You have to learn the method. Yeah, it's going to take time. It might take years. I mean, when you think about it, almost any professional sports player, they've probably been playing 5, 10 years before they hit the big time, right? Probably picked up a basketball when they were 7 or 8, or started throwing a baseball, or picked up a tennis, or a golf club. I mean, really, oh, the right set of clubs. Oh, these clubs suck. I can't make a putt. Yeah, or this pool stick. Oh, something's wrong with the table. It's not right because I keep missing balls. You just have to stop blaming things external to yourself. And in trading, it's risky, boys and girls. Trading's risky, and these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And that, trading's risky and you can lose all your money. And that's why if you need trading advice, financial advice, seek it from an accredited financial professional. Somebody who's got something they hang on the wall that say, hey, they got this certificate, they got this license. And that way, when you take their advice and you lose your money, you took the advice of an accredited financial professional rather than listening to some guy on YouTube or off some trading forum. And since it takes time to learn how to trade and trade well, that's why you have to put your stop loss. Make sure your risk management and money management's in place. That's to protect you during that learning process, even at a dime a pip, because you don't want to lose more on any single trade than you're willing to lose on any single trade. Okay, let's look at the charts here. We got the dollar yen. As you can see, it dropped below the daily open a few times and it's come back. Plain to see on this chart. It even broke through the high ones. I mean, that's why I'm starting off with this clean chart so you can see you just need a few horizontal lines and you can see what price is doing. And as you can see here, it's in that upper wick zone, so it got in there, came out, and etc. On the weekly, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs haven't filled. Who knows? This could be one of those weeks where at the end of the week, we still have 8 pairs that haven't filled. As far as the dollar yen goes, only 32 pips on the week. Wow, a range. See here, we failed to break out of the previous week's low, but up through that zone. This almost looks like yesterday. Weren't we about 7 pips above the weekly open at this time yesterday? It seems like we were. And 102 pips below the yearly open and 88 pips below the monthly open. But we're up for the week by a whopping 4 pips and up on the day by 8 at the moment. You see here, we went above the previous day's midpoint, and we actually hit the previous day's midpoint right there, and price reversed. And we got into the opening range of the first trading day of the year, and you can see we fell out. Once again, we've established the weekly opening range right here, with the long trigger at 0.67 and a short at 0.42. We almost went, well, actually, we did cross above the August 1st opening, but we fell back below. And here you can see we snuck into the first day of the year and second trading, first day of the second month of the year right here, but we fell back out of that range. Inside bar right there yesterday, you see if you took that trade and hung in there, you were rewarded. For the day, only 3 pairs over 100. There's that daily H1 highest open you see here. We crossed it once, twice, 3 times a lady. Each time fell back down. Well, you could have picked up 3 pips or so, or more. As you can see here, picking up more pips. The buy zone. The pivot was below the weekly open, but it was right near the daily open, so it got taken out. So there was really no bias there. And as you can see, there's just no range. I guess all the traders went home for the holidays, taking the month of December off. On the pound, since we're looking at the pound on the rat zone, simply because the dollar yen just doesn't have the range. Here we got range large enough at 56. And you can see here. Got a little congestion here. It's hard. Doesn't want to leave the red rat zone, but red rat's had a nice trade right there. So we took out the pivot, looking for the weekly pivot right there. On the daily, once again, we took out the pivot. We took out yesterday's pivot. So I don't think we hit the pivot yesterday. Let's see, high 6.672. The mid dot 0.671. Yeah, I guess we did hit the pivot yesterday. Just nicked it, right? Now, with the dollar yen price action, there's really not much to see, but once again, price doesn't like staying between two lines because it ranges. Even here with the lowly range of 24, it has to bust out of the 10 pip range there. And on the wick zone, in and out, in and out, in and out. Only 3 pips separating the upper and lower wick zone, but we did have some nice breakouts there. Once again, handful of pips. Now, part of that trading skill is, the money management part is trading and taking pips when you can. Now, some people go, oh, only 1 or 2 pips. If you're trading, say, $50 a pip, 2 pips is $100. Especially if, somewhere between 90 and 100, depending on the instrument, but let's just call it around. Trading the euro or the pound, it's $1 a pip. So you could be a little heavy-handed there on the lots. Just nick it for a couple of pips, and you're making some folding money. But you have to be really careful. Time your entries. But, if you're playing at a dime a pip, don't expect to be driving a Ferrari anytime soon. I mean, you just have to have some common sense here. People talk about trading for a living and all of that. Well, you really need to have some size on. I mean, you have to, let the small movements make you money. When I was trading stocks, I was trading 1,000 shares at a time. So every dime was $100. That's when the buy zone was born, where you just can get in and out quickly and print $100 bills. You only need to do that a few times a day. I mean, if the going's good, you keep at it, but sometimes it's slow and you just have to take what you can get when you can. Just like take all you can and give none back. Sometimes you take a little, sometimes you take a lot. And here at the tick level, you can see we've just got oscillation here of about 4 or 5 pips. Nothing to write home about. You can see that right here. Since I opened the platform, or the profile rather, well, actually both. No, I opened the platform, then switched to the profile. So profile. So you see right here, one long trigger, and you'd be about 2 to 4 pips to the good, depending on when you entered. So, fellow traders, I really want you to think about what I said earlier today about the skill in trading, because if you're blaming the method, I think you are putting the blame on the wrong side of the fence. You need to look in the mirror and check and see if you're executing properly, what you need to learn, what you need to do to make that method work. Because, if one person can do it, then you should be able to do it. If I can bake a cake, you can bake a cake, right? If I can build, you can build. I mean, these are skills that are learned over time. You just have to put the time in and practice. Because remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks.